Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another video. Today I am doing something a teeny bit different. Today I'm going to be sharing my auto-read authors. Now, these guys are auto-read authors and not necessarily auto-buy, though some of them I guess could be auto-buy. I prefer the term auto-read because while I will read everything these authors put out, I won't necessarily buy them and keep them on my shelf, because not necessarily all these books I will like, but I will definitely give them a chance, and if I love them, they get bought and put on my shelf. So my original plan for this was to bring up all the books I have for each of these authors to show them off, but my bookshelf is kind of chaotic right now. Some of these books are in boxes in places, some of them are not, so I decided to scrap that idea. It's not going to end ending, so I'm probably not going to put pictures of any of these books on the screen because I'm technology challenged. So yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with me talking and not showing. The first on this list is Holly Black. I love all of her books. I believe I have read them all at this point, and yeah, I don't necessarily own them all. I don't own any of the Spiderwick books, and I don't own Doll Bones, I believe it was, though I have read it. Neither of them are things I can picture myself rereading anytime soon, so I can't justify keeping them on my shelf. Though The Coldest Girl in Coal Town, The Darkest Part of the Forest, the Modern Fairy Tale books, The Cruel Prince, and The Wicked King, all those are on my shelf. The next on this list is Cassandra Clare. I either have read everything she put out or have plans to. I've read the beginning Shadowhunter books, the Infernal Devices. I read the series that her and Holly wrote together, the Magisterium series. I just haven't read the Dark Edifices and the binds-ups of stories that are out yet because I just haven't had time. But they are on my to-read list, definitely. The next author on my list is Michael J. Sullivan. His Riyria books are some of my favorite books of all time. I know he wrote a few other things. There's a science fiction-y novel he has out, The Hollow World, I believe it's called. I haven't gotten to that yet, but it is on my to-read list. His Riyria books are honestly my to-recommend series for people. If people are asking for fantasy recommendations, I recommend his stuff. Just without fail, without needing to think. I will say the Riyria Chronicles, the Riyria Revelations, and Legends of the First Empire books. They are awesome, they are fun, I love them, they make me feel, they give me emotions. They are good books. And just from book one, from the first book I've read of his, I was hooked and instantly knew he was going to be an auto-read author for me. My next auto-read author is Sarah J. Maas. I know her series have problems. I know they are not perfect. I know there are some parts of her series. But I still really like her writing. I still really love her series. And I still am going to be reading anything she puts out in the future. I can see the flaws in her work, but I still love it. So she is an auto-read author for me. The next on my list is Patricia Briggs. I've only read the Mercy Thompson series so far, but I love it. I'm in love with this series, and I definitely plan to pick up her other work as well, because if it's anywhere near as fun and entertaining as Mercy Thompson, I know I'm going to love it. Next on my list is Anne Bishop. I absolutely loved the other series. I am in love with this series, and she just had me from Written in Red. I know she has at least one other series out that I have yet to get to. It's definitely on my to-read list, and I'm very much looking forward to reading it, and I plan to read anything she puts out in the future. The next on my list is John Flanagan. Back when I was 15, I was going through chemotherapy for Hodgkin's lymphoma. My mom, one day when I was in for surgery, went to a bookstore across the street from the hospital, and she picked up The Ruins of Gorlan by John Flanagan, which is book 1 in the Ranger's Apprentice series. And just since that day, I have loved this series. From that day, I've just been hooked on this series. I love it. I know he has a few spin-offs for it that I haven't gotten to yet, though I plan to after I reread The Ranger's Apprentice. I know I started to review the books and put videos up for YouTube. Didn't finish because just so much was coming up at that time. So I do plan to restart the series, probably restart my reviews for it from the beginning, because it's been a while since I got the first one up. So I think it's time for a re-review. But yeah, John Flanagan is awesome. The Ranger's Apprentice series is awesome. And I'm sure all the other stuff he put out is just as awesome. The next author on my list is Rick Riordan. Probably not much of a surprise since I have several reviews for his books up. I think honestly the only books that he has written that I have not been huge fans of was the Kane Chronicles. I remember I read that ages ago and I was just kind of about it, but you know, Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, Magnus Chase, The Trials of Apollo, I love all those. So, you know, maybe someday soon I'll give the Kane Chronicles another try, because maybe my opinions have changed. But, yeah, regardless, anything he writes, I am going to be reading happily. Next on my list is Julie Kagawa. Probably not much of a surprise for anyone who's been around for a while. I believe I've read and reviewed everything she's put out thus far, and I love them all. I have all the books on my shelf in my possession. And yeah, definitely plan to read anything she puts out in the future. And the final author on my list is Kelly Armstrong. She was actually my first kind of experience outside the realm of young adult in middle grade. Back in high school, I somehow came across her Woman of the Otherworld series. She's definitely my first experience outside of YA, and it was a good experience. I enjoyed her writing. I enjoyed her books. So far, I've only read her young adult series. What was it? Why am I blanking on the name? Just The Summoning, and then the sequel companion series to that. That it takes place in the same world as the Woman of the Otherworld series, which I didn't notice until years later. I love those books. I love her Woman of the Otherworld books. I know she has a few other things out that I need to give a whirl. I'm excited to read them. And yeah, she's an awesome author. Yeah, those are my auto-read authors. And I very awkwardly don't know how to end this video, so yeah. What are some of your auto-read authors? Do you have some that are the same as me? Do you have other auto-read authors or auto-buy authors that are not on my list? Yeah, let me know. Always look for authors to check out, and yeah, that is it for this video, and I hope to see you guys next time.